Hey guys, hope you're well. Thanks very much for checking out another Friday Focus. So we are on week 4 of this year. So really excited to just jump in, reveal what's been happening over the past week. Feels a bit surreal because obviously the last one was a little bit later, so it feels like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. But hopefully you find some useful stuff off it. Okay, so jumping straight in, so a bit of a recap of last week, in case you missed out on the last one, was as you know, or you may not know, I got called up to coach and teach on a level 4 strength and conditioning course weekend for strength and conditioning education. Now, that weekend is quite intense, it's very long days. There's a lot of demonstration in terms of Olympic lifting, speed, agility, plyometrics, lots of different movements, but it's also fatiguing because you're trying to engage the 20 or so people that are there. You're trying to make sure that you're answering their questions, so you give a lot to them. Okay, the day before that, I did a heavy day down with Chris over in Big Cat. So fantastic gym. If you're ever in the Harrogate area, I recommend you go and check it out. But we did a really good set. We probably pushed each other a little bit in the jerk set, so that just tipped it up even to the RPE of 10. But then that being said, I had a Saturday and Sunday. Although I wasn't training, it was kind of an RPE of 7. In terms of there was a lot of residual fatigue there because you're giving a lot to a lot of the people that are there. Now, because of that, on the Monday, dropped it right down. It was an RPE of 3, so kept it really simple. I did a 12-minute snatch set with a 16, just focusing on technique. Heart rate stayed relatively low, but just wanting to loosen off after the weekend, but also just get a feel ready for this week that's coming up. And then what I did is I hit a 7/8 on the Tuesday. Now, although the effort in that session was about 7 to 8, and the overall session, the actual fatigue was massive, and I think that carried over from the weekend. Or I say, I think it did. I know it did. It carried over from the weekend, so the fatigue was there. So I decided to rest, and really just do very little, and then obviously back into around about a 4, ready for the ready for building up, for ready for the qualification coming up this weekend. So today I'll be just doing a bit of a prime. Obviously I've weighed in and everything else like that, so today's just about refueling. I'll do a bit of a primer session just to make sure that I am excited and ready to rock and roll for the competition tomorrow. So the week ahead will all depend on what's going to happen tomorrow in terms of how I feel, how I perform, how I analyze my sets, because basically that's going to have an impact on the training program, the plan. What do I need to adjust? Do I need to change this? Do I need to change that? So basically, off the back of tomorrow's qualification, what I'll do is I'll sit down once kind of the dust is settled, because if I try and do it there and then, you tend to find that there's a lot more emotion, you're heightened, you're excited, so everything comes into play, so it can skew your judgment. Whereas if you sit down and review logically and you go down the self-scoring chart that we've got in the group, so it allows you to analyze where you currently feel you're at in more of a subjective way, but gives you some good results in terms of, actually I need to hone in on that, I need to hone on this. Okay, so everything will be based on pretty much what will happen over the weekend. So like I say, from that I'll get my sheet out. So I'll score myself in terms of my nutrition, I'll score myself in terms of my sleeping habits, I'll score myself out of 10 in terms of the different aspects of training, and we'll see where the quick wins are, and we'll see how we can sort of progress going forward. Because although I've got the annual plan in place, I have got rough guys on terms of I'm going to do this sort of training, I'm going to form that sort of training, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. In the lead up to it, I'm always, when I'm testing, I'm always reviewing. I always need to know if that training is actually beneficial. I need to know whether I change that or not. You can't just sort of say, right, well, that's on paper. I have to stick to that. Okay. So I'll be looking at that, and then I'll be looking ahead to the next date. So that comes in the 8th and 9th of March, I believe, over in Denmark, so one of the World Cup stages. So again, just working towards that. So my week ahead, obviously, I've got Saturday. That will be a 10. I know for a fine fact it will be. The following day, I always go out for a run. For the simple fact is it allows me just to get moving, flush away the body, flush, get the blood pumping, clear my head, gather some thoughts, and just sort of go through that. Day 3 and 4, which will be Monday and Tuesday, I'll probably do nothing. I'll probably just rest. I'll maybe do some mobility type work and stuff, some soft tissue work, but I probably won't be doing much in terms of training. Then on Wednesday, I'll probably jump back onto a high performance recovery training set, and then slowly build up, ready to start hitting the session hard again on Saturday to mark the start of a new cycle. So that's generally what the week ahead is going to be looking like for myself. And again, it's hard to go into too much detail until I really know what's going to happen with the test, because there's going to be certain things that I might need to adjust, I might need to change, and that would be my tip to you guys as well, is constantly review, constantly analyze what's happening, what's going right, what could be improved, how can I change this, how can I change that. Not changing for changing's sake, but just having to sit down and just really getting your head in a piece of paper, following the chart, following the files that we've got in the kettlebell community, and sort of saying, right, well, actually, what areas can I improve? How do I rate myself in these different areas right now, and what's going to be the one thing that I'm going to improve on there? Okay, so pretty much that's kind of the Friday focus for now. It's not too in depth because it's kind of, let's on the week ahead, let's see how we adjust after the weekend, because that's obviously going to be the biggest factor. Okay, guys, so as always, guys, just keep calm, smash it if you're competing tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic one. Hope you get all of the results that you're hoping for, and I'm really looking forward to catching up with a lot of you. Been a pleasure, guys. Speak soon.